Hello, friends. The world's largest primate, the gorilla, is now endangered. Human activity placed these apes on the brink of extinction, depriving them of their habitats and driving them out of their homes. Now, many gorillas live in national parks in African countries. Many tourists come to look at them, but they need to be careful because these animals can be unpredictable. An adult gorilla is stronger than any person on Earth. A male gorilla is on average 6 to 8 times stronger than a fit man. Damien Aspinall and his daughter Tansy came to Africa to track down a pair of gorillas. Tansy was just a little girl when she met the gorillas. She was by her dad's side when he was preparing Jalta and Bims for a life in their natural environment. The gorillas were born at the Howlett's Wild Animal Park in Kent, which had an area of 90 acres. Tansy recalls, "I loved playing in the animal enclosures. The gorillas would come up and hug us, and we would run away, roll around, and chase them. It was so much fun." My dad uploaded a YouTube video in which I, as an 18-month-old, was playing with the gorillas. Because of the video, he got into some trouble with social workers. But the gorillas had not grown yet. They were babies themselves and were even wearing diapers. One of them even slept in the nursery in our cottage. They were adorable. The media referred to Tansy as Mowgli's sister. In 2003, Jalta and Bims were released into the African jungle. At that point, Tansy was 11 years old. Adorable is perhaps not how most people would describe having a big hairy gorilla, but Tansy's enthusiasm was convincing. What's more is that Tansy and her dad came to Africa 12 years later to track down Bims. It was difficult to predict how these wild animals would react to people. Would the gorillas remember them? Would they let them get close? What happened will remain in the young woman's memory as one of the most emotional events in her life. The young woman showed off a selfie she took with the gorilla, which was captured when she was reunited with Bims, whom she grew up with. She said, "He definitely recognized me. He was so sweet and gentle and hugged me." Today, Tansy Aspinall is a successful young woman who runs the Tada and Joy Jewelry Company, which she started with her school friend. Moreover, she continues to focus on the family's conservation work. Even within the company, the subject of gorillas is very much present. You can see it on the posters and pictures on the wall and on the pendants of silver bracelets which she places on the table. The letter A and a gorilla is the logo of the Aspinall Foundation. Tansy explains, 25% of the profits from the charitable collection and 5% from the general collection are donated to the foundation. The foundation was founded by John Aspinall, Tansy's granddad. It funds another wild animal park, the Port Lympne Reserve. Over the years, the following animals were born at the reserve: 33 black rhinos, 123 clouded leopards, 20 African elephants, and over 70 gorillas. What's unique is that many of the animals were reintroduced into the African jungle. Tansy's love for animals was passed down to her from her dad and granddad. Damien Aspinall grew up surrounded by wild animals. His father established a wildlife park at the Howlett's estate in 1957, where Damien grew up. At the estate, Damien was practically raised by his adoptive mother, a gorilla. He even recalls one time as a child, he got stuck in a tree and the gorilla came up to him, let him crawl on her back, and brought him down. She would even wipe his tears and calm him down. Despite the bond that Damien shared with the animals from such a young age, nothing could prepare him for a meeting many years later with a group of gorillas that he had raised. While growing up, Damien helped raise many gorillas. They became very close, as if the gorillas were his own children. 2 of them were named Jalta and Bims, both were male gorillas. Damien said in an interview, it was planned that both of the gorillas would be integrated into protected wilderness. He firmly believed that releasing the gorillas would make them happy, which they deserved no less than humans. According to Damien, this is the key to coexistence on the planet. In August 2016, Damien remarried. He married a woman named Victoria Fisher. At the time, Victoria worked for Burberry in Tuscany, Italy. She joked that when she married Damien, she also married his animals and his love for them. They came as a package deal, and according to Victoria, that's wonderful. She loves animals as much as her husband. She said, "It might sound crazy, but I love wolves as if they were my own children." A baby wolf even slept in our bed. At that point, it's been 4 years since Damien visited Jalta and Bims with his daughter. Damien, once again, really wanted to find them and to see how they were doing. Of course, it was not the first time that Damien would lead an expedition to locate gorillas that were reintroduced into the wild. However, this time was different because he was taking his wife, Victoria, with him. Neither of them expected what would happen next. The time had finally come to meet the gorillas and everyone was nervous. Would the large primates remember Damien? Would they be aggressive having spent so much time away from people? Soon they were going to have answers to all these questions. Jalta and Bims quickly noticed the approaching boat that carried Damien, Victoria, and their team. The two gorillas seemed intrigued by what was happening, but when dealing with wild animals, things can change very quickly. Damien and Victoria were about to find out what was going to happen. While Damien sat on the shore, Victoria slowly made her way through the water. When she was only a few steps away, Damien told her to stop and wait where she was. He was waiting for a sign that the gorillas were not going to be hostile or aggressive. Then, one of the gorillas made a gurgling sound, the first sign that they intended to be friends with Victoria. Damien then told Victoria to come closer. Damien understood that the gorillas accepted Victoria and intended to be friends with her. One of the gorillas went up to her and buried her nose in her neck, a clear sign that the gorillas accepted her. They were very friendly and offered warm hugs. The next day, Damien and Victoria returned to the same spot, hoping that Jalta and Bims would be there. Bims was fascinated by Victoria and immediately rushed towards her, making happy sounds of acceptance. Victoria and Bims hugged and played with each other. They became good friends, but then something happened that shocked Victoria. During the play, Bims the gorilla took Victoria's hat and placed it on his own head. Gorillas are so similar to us. It seems that Jalta and Bims are happy in the wild, but they still miss their people. What do you think? Are they better off at the reserve or in the wild? Friends, that's all for today. Tell us your opinions in the comments. Like the video, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.